video is going to show us some progressions for our gluteus medius muscle. So we talked about the clam exercise in the last video, how to activate and find that gluteus medius muscle in the first place, how to start to get it to fire up a little bit more readily. Once you can do that clam exercise nice and easily, then I'm going to show you progressions through the course of this video. First one I'm going to do is standing up against a wall. Now the movement is going to be basically, I'm going to be trying to do this. So I'm going to have one leg lifted and I'm going to be looking to see if I can rotate it out to the side. But I'm going to use a wall or a kitchen cupboard or whatever you've got to hand to be able to try and block and resist that movement. So I'm going to stand really close to it so my shoulders butt up against the wall. I'm going to lift my leg as though I'm going to then push out into the wall. So I'm really pushing my knee into the wall. My standing leg is actually the one that's going to be working harder in this position. So I'm really feeling my gluteus medius has got to work really quite hard and actually down into the thigh as well to stabilise me as I press into this wall and hold me nice and upright. Really important to stay nice and tall, keep shoulders nice and square to the wall. And I'm going to press in there and I can hold that for maybe a count of 10 seconds. Then I can have a release, shake it off, and I'm going to repeat for another 10 seconds. And I might repeat that maybe up to 5-10 repetitions. The way in which I can then change that and change the emphasis is with my foot position. So I can turn my foot out as though it's pointing to 10 o'clock on a clock face. Then I'm going to repeat. So I'm looking to push this knee into the wall and really feel how differently that works through into that leg. I can then change that again by turning my toes in. So they're pointing at 2 o'clock, and then I repeat, pushing that knee out into the wall and really feeling how I can get those muscles activating into my glutes. So that standing leg set is one variation on a progression for a gluteus medius exercise. So my knees. If your wrists find this too uncomfortable, you could go onto your fists or even down onto your forearms if you find that more comfortable. From this position, what I'm going to work to do is to keep my back nice and level so my pelvis is staying nice and still. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring my other knee slightly more centrally underneath my hips just to help me with my balance slightly. Then I'm going to pretend that I'm going to lift, we call this a fire hydrant, so it's almost like a dog cocking its leg, and I'm lifting up. So you can see it's not a huge amount of movement, but I'm really focusing to keep my pelvis nice and still, so I'm not doing any twisting. So repeat those to fatigue, and then obviously you can work into the other side. Another option for gluteus medius strengthening from this position is I'm going to shoot one leg out behind and lift it up, and I'm going to bring it out. So I'm trying to keep that leg parallel to the floor, and then I can bring it back over. I can lift up, out and round. So I'm basically making an arc with my leg, taking it up and over and round into there, and obviously using the other leg, so extend away, so keeping that parallel, working to keep my pelvis nice and steady as I lift up and over. Another option to work that gluteus medius muscle is coming down onto the floor, resting down into your head, so you can make a diamond at the front. With your hands, rest your forehead onto here. What I'm going to look to do is I'm going to squeeze my bum muscles to lift myself up, and then I'm going to open. When I open into here, I'm really activating through that gluteus medius. Surprisingly difficult to do. Hold that for as long as you can. Really remember to breathe. Really important to remember to breathe in these, because there is a tendency to want to hold your breath. And come in and rest back down, and then you're going to repeat. So lift up, open. Okay, again holding it for as long as you possibly can, coming back in, aiming to repeat that for around 10 repetitions.